What's going on, y'all? This is Greg. Greg said it. Back with another one here. Y'all, I always talk about don't get too comfortable. There's one thing that's consistent in life, and that's change. And there's one thing about Colorado, is always going to be something going on. Y'all, this portal is happening. And I got a feeling it's going to be very active, very lively. More lively than a lot of people may think. Because, we've been talking about how good Colorado is and what Colorado has. Clearly, Colorado is not content. We talked about the parts that people don't know that's there and the parts they're looking over. And some of those parts are already leaving. And maybe some more. We have no idea what's coming in. We sure don't know what's going out. And we just have to be very patient. We don't run anything. We don't really know the nuances of what's going on, why people do what they do. Because every year with this portal thing, or multiple times a year now, you find out somebody leaving that you like, why are they leaving? What's going on? It could be something they've done. It could be something they didn't do. It could be that they were made to leave, or they made their own choice to leave. And it could be a lot of factors, variables in between. And you don't know. So on the side note, I heard the quarterback up there, Johnson up there at Kansas State, decided to jump in the portal. Now, he's up there trying to lead. I say, poor Dylan Edwards. He was going up there to get close to home, but they tried to sell the story he wanted to play with his homeboy. They grew up together. They played Little League together. Once he got to Kansas up there. And it's like, a lot of people say he's trying to go to Tennessee maybe. These people move around for opportunity and money like they're in corporate America. It ain't even about if they're a starter or not, or if they're a backup and looking for opportunity. We clearly see these guys will leave as starters. So the theory about, oh, you leaving in the portal, you must not be good, that's been dead. Especially in these quarterbacks and key roles. They will up and leave a good situation to go to a quote-unquote better situations or a better conference, a better opportunity. They will. And they will leave a team that's dependent on them. They're a major piece to their team. I know with Kansas State, if they're going to contend, you will want to have the quarterback, right? He's a young guy. When you have these young guys, you think, oh, they're going to be there for years. They got 3 years of eligibility. They got 4 years of eligibility. Like, for example, McCoy. McCoy has been coming on. It's finally his time. It looks like everybody's been talking about him. He did decent last year. This is going to be his year. And then you look up, and it's like, oh, he's leaving with 3 years of eligibility. And it's like, what in the world's going on? You're rooting for the guy because he's talented and this is his time to shine. And he's finally getting to the place where, at the place he's been working at, and then he up and goes somewhere else. That's the beauty of this portal. It giveth and it taketh away. I bet Auburn felt like that about Colton Hood last year. Colton Hood was working his way up. He had such a good spring, and he just go to Colorado. Why would he go there? Who's there? Relationships come into play. A lot of things we don't know what's going on. I can go, my brother can go with me. A lot of things, man. It's this portal, you don't know what moves these people. NIL money, a former coach got a job, or they going to play with somebody who recruited them before. That's something that's been going on for a while, like player relationship. Oh, the guy recruited me going to a different school, or my position coach going to a different school. That's what made a lot of guys transfer in the past. But now there's just so many more additional variables that make you be like, what in the world is going on out here? You definitely wouldn't have thought somebody like McCoy would leave. And IA left just some days ago. And it's like, isn't he the returning leading rusher? Wouldn't he been the one that started? He's one of our best. Some people say he's the most well-rounded. And he's the biggest back. And it's like he brings some diversity in the look of the room. Out of all people he leave. Why? It seemed like he didn't have any sign, any reason. That's what it seems like when he leave. Like when Dylan Edwards left. When McCaskill left. Some people you leave, you just like, I remember when Hankerson left. And then he went and did better. People leave for their own reasons. Sometimes there's some things going on within the organization. Sometimes they just leave because, hey, I like the other situation. And it may work out for him, may not. I don't know if it benefited Dylan Edwards as much. Some people Joe say he can come back. I don't know if that door open. Then homeboy don't left him up there. He just can stick with just being at home. Because you really don't know when you go to a school. You go for the wrong reason. The wrong reason, every reason but you. If you go there for the coach can leave. Whether it's a head coach, assistant coach, or some position, recruiter, whatever. Same thing with a player. You go and play with your homeboy, and your homeboy up and go somewhere else the next year, 2 years, 3 years. There's no guarantee with nothing that anybody gonna be anywhere. There's no guarantee your coach gonna be there. There's no guarantee that you gonna be there. Your homeboy's no guarantees. And that's really like the NFL. I mean, if anything, preparing for the NFL, it's the volatility of it all. You know, contracts and getting cut and all that. They cut you in doggone middle of the season, the end of the season. You make it through the first part and you still get cut. Then you see you to another team, you get cut, you just get bounced around. The nature of sports is rough. It's just rough. There's no loyalty, really. Who loyal? Coach ain't loyal. You give him a bigger check, he goes somewhere else. Or the opposite. You have a bad year, they fire him, put a whole nother staff in there. Another coach who bring a whole nother staff, change your position, change your role, change your everything, your expectations. You don't know what can happen from year to year in this thing. We can talk like it. The more stable, the better. But one end stable, the other end loose. What do you have? Everybody want to see Coach Prime get that contract. He got the contract. That gives a little more stability. But does that change you? You end up leaving. I don't know how many of these guys were planning to leave. I don't know what influenced them to leave. It was the outside voices. But they leaving. And they're just not doing it in Colorado. They're doing it everywhere. And no matter how great your school is, what history they have, they all are experiencing it. And they're experiencing it on different levels. They experience the stars leaving. They experience upcoming rising stars leaving. And they got the people who just sit behind everybody on the bench leaving and say, I need to go find opportunity. And then some of these guys, probably even most of these guys, go and jump in the portal and never make it out. They just end their career in the portal. Nobody pick them up. They probably be happy for Julaboo Creek to recruit them at some point. Or maybe some people stubborn. Because you got to think about it. If you leave a place like Colorado, you say you may be willing to go down a level. But who knows, you might end up at Dawn Division II. Or some real low A ball. And you're not getting the same nowhere near the facilities or the exposure. So you got to really be clear. Because that can be probably depressing. Go somewhere and you just better be ready to play ball. Because you better be happy for that opportunity. So many people jump in that portal and they go from Colorado to nowhere at all. You would think it's a lot of in between Colorado in your mind. You would think somebody will pick you up. But there's only so many scholarships. There's more schools than when I was in there, but it's only so many scholarships. And it's so many players they recruit that's in the portal. It's not enough scholarships to go around for clearly the number of people in the portal. You know, each team may have 10, 20, maybe even 30 in some. But, you know, if you say that's 100 teams, you know, it may not be enough to go around. It may not be that many teams. And you get left in the wash. This guy's been in the portal for 2, 3 years. That portal is a monster. So many Colorado guys have made it out since Coach Prime got there. And then he just started adding people on. And some of them you'd be surprised how long they stay there and that they don't go somewhere. You say, well, no, he could have went there. It's a lot more to it. Either way, that door is going to be a revolving door, man. It's going to be people coming in and out that thing over the next week. So you might as well just get ready. Because the talks and the chatter is there. Oh, see, you might bring a few more receivers. They might bring a few more linemen. And if that happened, you know, some people going to leave, or maybe they already know some people leaving. I would think they would. Because this last year, this time, when all our running backs jumped in the portal right before the spring game, they didn't even play. They didn't even play. That's how serious this thing is. So we're going to keep our eye on this thing, man. Keep your emotions steady. Your favorite guy or somebody's just surprise you, shock you that they're leaving. Just hold together. It's part of the process. And it ain't gonna change no time soon. This is the new way. The old way was bad, but this new way is even worse. I'm just Greg. Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll be talking to y'all soon.